So Final Fantasy XVI was revealed during the PS5 Showcase, so it's cool to see there will be another mainline Final Fantasy game. But while some fans are very happy, well, there are some people out there that aren't, which the Puritans are screeching over this trailer, which, of course, I don't think this is surprising to anyone. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So when looking at the PS5 Showcase, yeah, it didn't go over too well in terms of the pre-orders, considering that, PlayStation themselves, they were going to announce whenever people could go and get the, console, of course, but yeah, that didn't go over too well, considering that pre-orders, people were buying them all out. I mean, it was a complete disaster. It really was. And people are understandably upset over this. Many people have been looking forward to this, and then, of course, PlayStation goes back on their word of trying to let people know about this. I mean, the pre-orders went up a day before they stated it was going to. And, of course, people going around trying to find it whenever they can, or, using systems to search for it, like bots and whatnot. Yeah, people are understandably mad about not getting their console. But with this launch, well, of course, you have Puritans who are upset over Final Fantasy XVI. Yeah, I'm not kidding. They were whining over a 4-minute trailer because of this. Final Fantasy XVI needs whammon. Yesterday's PS5 live showcase revealed a 4-minute trailer for Final Fantasy XVI that showed everything fans could want, except whammon. I mean, they're complaining over this. See, here's the thing. This game is not even completed. It's still in development. They're upset over this. I think, what was it? Shiva was like the only character that was in it. But apparently that didn't matter, right? Apparently to them, they think that this game, which, like I said, just a trailer, doesn't have enough women in it. But when you look at Final Fantasy, I mean, look, you have brilliant characters like Tifa, for example, or you have Yuna. There are tons of female characters. I mean, hell, there were even female leads like Final Fantasy XIII, which had Lightning, or Final Fantasy VI, which had Terra. They've had female leads as well, but of course leave it to the Puritans to be upset over this trailer to a game that's still in development. And keep in mind, they had Shiva in the trailer, as I stated. But apparently Shiva doesn't matter to them, right? I mean, but they had to make an article upset over this. It's finally happened in what feels like eons of anticipation. The next mainline game in the Final Fantasy franchise has been announced to much fanfare. Yesterday's PS5 live showcase revealed a 4-minute trailer for Final Fantasy XVI, and it's just got about everything you'd expect from an announcement for a next-gen Final Fantasy title. Stunning graphics, incredible redesigns of series staples, exciting sneak peeks into the battle system, and a bland-looking protagonist that will inevitably be fleshed out into another beloved main character. However, there was one thing it didn't include: whammon. But it included Shiva. But apparently that doesn't matter to these people. Oh, seriously, Final Fantasy, everybody knows that they're going to have female characters. I mean, the Final Fantasy franchise has plenty of well-known and very, very excellent female characters. So I don't know why they would think that there's not going to be, especially when the game is still in development. It's not even finished. But of course, leave it to these Puritans to, find something to whine about, right? Find something to be upset about. Let's specify, the trailer lacked any mention or implication of playable female characters or even female characters that would be central to the story in any shape or form. This comes as disappointing news. For many Final Fantasy fans, they were hoping for a return to diversity after all the male focus of the Final Fantasy XV. This disappointed most stems from the fact that historically, Final Fantasy fans have one of the most female-friendly JRPGs in its genre. While far from perfect, the series has a better track record than, say, its rival Titan JRPG franchise, Dragon Quest, which often has a rather lackluster approach to female characters as strictly secondary to the male protagonist. Dragon Quest has had some good female characters. I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, seriously, these people are ridiculous. Ever since the beginning of PlayStation era, Final Fantasy has introduced some of the most iconic female characters to the world, often redefining what it means to be a strong female protagonist. From Final Fantasy VII to Final Fantasy XIII, each mainline game has had at least one female character with a deeply human and compelling narrative. Are that was central? Wait, grammar fail? Were they so upset they had the grammar fail? Oh, to the plot and themes of the game itself, sometimes relatable, sometimes fantastical. Each of these characters had their own story to tell that was integral to the hero's journey that the games took players through. I mean, who's to say that Final Fantasy XVI won't do that? Also, but I think that these Puritans, if anything, they drummed this up because they were just trying to create issues out of nothing like they always do. Screech over a trailer to a game that's not even finished yet. I mean, seriously. That's what they always do. Admittedly, character design-wise, Final Fantasy hasn't always been equally female-friendly as its storytelling. The franchise has committed some incredibly cringe-worthy boob window crimes. Oh my, how lewd. See, here they are now attacking fan service. That's one thing Puritans, they'll always typically do, is they always go after fan service because they always try to say it's a bad thing. But, if it comes to a male character, oh no, they have no problems with it. But never worse than the depravity many other JRPGs have indulged in. And let's be real, a lot of these sexualized designs are balanced out by equally ridiculous male character design. This is, incidentally, part of the reason why Final Fantasy XIV has one of the biggest female player bases among its competitors. Unlike most other MMOs, female characters aren't restricted to revealing clothing, and male characters are given the opportunity to show off their assets, if you know what I mean. Oh yeah, see, so apparently to them, within this article, it's a crime for a female to have a boob window. But if a male shows off his assets, oh no, it's perfectly fine. You see the hypocrisy here? You see the hypocrisy of these people? And, these are the same people that complained over Barrett in Final Fantasy VII Remake. They were complaining about Barrett when you think about it. When there's nothing wrong with Barrett, Barrett's been a cool character. But leave it to Reset Era, because if you know Reset Era, all the filthy degenerates over there, they try to have so much control over the gaming industry, but Japan won't bend the knee to these people. So they get very outraged over that, so they do everything they possibly can. And, of course, the cesspool that's known as Twitter, well, there were people over there complaining about it as well. One person stating, "Please, Square Enix, some diversity would be nice." Acting like Final Fantasy's never had diversity when Final Fantasy is very diverse. I don't know how anyone could think that Final Fantasy has no diversity. I mean, seriously, there's probably someone who's never played the game. Because these Puritans, when they screech about something, they don't support it. They don't have any money to support it. So, of course, they wouldn't know anything about it. So people were responding. One person goes, "This character was created in 1997, by the way." And this person got blasted, which was absolutely hilarious. But, that's the thing. When it comes to these Puritans, they never support anything they screech about. In fact, the reason why they do this is they do this to try to ruin the series or the hobbies that people actually enjoy. That's why they try to screech about all this stuff. And, one person brought up an excellent point about this. Final Fantasy has tons of diversity. You only point at poster boys because you don't actually play those games, do you? And I enjoyed that point because, the thing of it is that they don't. These Puritans never support anything they screech about. And, this is them just creating another issue out of nothing yet again. So, of course, I had to get upset over a Final Fantasy XVI trailer when the game's not even fully done. It's not fully developed yet. I mean, I just find it to be absolutely ridiculous. But that's exactly what these Puritans do, and they're nothing but a bunch of clowns. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and make sure you are still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you are still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow can always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.